just can't stop loving you. I just can't stop loving you. And if I stop, then tell me just what will I do? Anywho,
Okay.
so we watched. I guess should I have a Ruby background?
No.
I feel like it's
This
gonna.
is the Ice Queendom one, so I just put it on. So you watched Ice Queendom, right?
I did. So I watched Ice Queendom. And I still remember a good chunk of, the
Volume
original,
one,
yeah, of volume
the
one.
original volume one, yeah.
So I liked that some of the things were filled in,
Hmm.
but I felt like it was happening really fast.
Hmm.
And I don't remember but I don't remember volume one that clearly. So I'm like, did it happen this fast, or did it seem like they were okay?
Like those first 3 episodes
The first 3 minutes.
was like the first like 6 or 7 episodes of the first season of RWBY. Let me look it
The
up.
first 3 minutes were the first 6 or 7. Well, even so, the first.
No, the first. Oh no, those were the trailers. Did you ever watch the RWBY trailers before they came out? There's 4 trailers. So the very first,
Oh.
yeah, there's 4 trailers. When Monty and Brewster
Mhm.
T started RWBY, there was
Mhm.
4 trailers. It was like number one, red trailer. So
Mhm.
it was like 2 or 3 minutes long, and you meet Ruby first. So you met all 4 girls in 4 separate trailers before the show came out. So
Oh, so I.
he
Okay.
was teasing he was teasing that they're making their own show.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was those scenes were the trailers, because you never saw that scene of when Ruby is at her grave
Mhm.
talking to her mother. Uh, Blake is with Blake is with Adam, and that's when they separate.
Right.
Yeah, and then that's when Weiss gets her scar. And the yellow trailer, Yang is going to a nightclub to try to find info on her mother.
Okay. All right.
But they kind of skipped that in Ice Queendom, which I thought was interesting. And yeah, so they just had her at home with Ty, which was nice because you never really saw Ty at the beginning. And I did like how they showed Ospen clearly knowing who Ty is, saying, "Hey, Ty."
Yeah.
I was like, "Thank you. Like, I want some like Team Stark recognition, like immediately." And then he even said, "Oh, this reminds me of the Stark days." I was like, "Thank God." Like, I still want like a mini series of Team Stark. I need it.
Right.
I
Right.
want it. I want it. Um,
So, what were your thoughts? What were your feelings? Did you
I
like it?
really
Like I
liked
just
it.
said,
I
for me, it was
mean,
just the pacing.
oh, you thought it was just too fast?
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I thought it was great. I mean, like I said, I am very new to RWBY fandom. I started the show, what, 2021,
Yeah.
and since then I've watched it about 5 times because I love it so much.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to pull up my volume one channel. Yeah, that was basically all of volume one in those 3 episodes.
Okay.
So I'm thinking in my brain that they're going to do this and then kind of scary away from everything we've already seen, because
Mhm.
I think just doing the whole repetition would be really boring.
Do you think so? You
Just
think
like
maybe
repeating.
this here was like a brief introduction, and then everything's kind of gonna go its own way.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that introducing the new Nightmare Grim, which I kind of don't remember, did they ever speak about Nightmare Grim in the original
I don't.
anime?
None of that was familiar to me,
Yeah,
so I
and then
think
they
that was
added
new.
that new person, Shion Zayden, which
Mhm.
when I saw the name, I was, oh no, it's Shion, right?
I
Think I
don't. I didn't
pronounced
see
it
the
wrong.
spelling.
I think it's Raiden. Shion Zayden.
Hmm.
And I thought about Raiden from Mortal Kombat. So I was like, that's all I thought about while this person was talking. So the whole Nightmare Grim concept with them leeching onto your body,
Hmm.
I like that because it's new and it's not just normal Grim. What are you doing?
Trying to get Ruby in frame.
It's okay.
Okay.
I don't have Blake in frame.
Okay.
Look at her. Look at her. I don't know where she is.
Yeah. 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 Um,
Yeah, I
that it seemed like they seemed to change. It seemed like they seemed to change how Pyrrha felt about Jean because it seemed to be immediate in this, as opposed to we kind of had to like get a few more scenes with him to like figure out that, oh, she likes him, you know.
mhm.
And
I kind of
then
thought it was a little obvious when you watch Volume One, because do you remember in the original? I mean, when you watch Volume One, you see Weiss just about to go talk to Pyrrha, and then John comes over. So remember, they never spoke.
yeah, I didn't remember them. I was gonna say I don't think they spoke in the original, and I was
Mhm.
I didn't catch that she was on her way to go talk to her though.
Mhm. And
Did
John like
she
cut her off.
was 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 Weiss meaner in this than she was in the, or was it about the same?
Was she meaner? I mean, when you watch the first volume of
Hmm.
Weiss, she's pretty mean.
Yeah.
And
I was kind of hoping that the background characters would still be shadow figures.
I like that. I kind of felt like they did that a little bit when they had that one scene and everybody was just black.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was like an ode to the original and how everybody
Yeah.
makes fun of those characters.
And so you said that definitely wasn't Casey singing
I guess
in
not. Yeah,
volumes.
I asked one of our mutual Ruby friends about it, and they said no. Hmm. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the series. I just kind of realized we have like a month until it comes out because it's dropping over there on the third in Japan
Oh, okay. We don't have a month. That's like 2 weeks.
for us because they're dropping episode weekly. So they're gonna watch episode
Oh,
one on the third, episode two on the 10th. I think I think it was nice to have. I mean, everybody misses Pyrrha,
yeah.
and I think her loss in season three still like is like the worst because
Oh, and
like
we saw that it was. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
in like imagining
Mhm.
like the rest of the series with her,
Mhm.
it's
So
probably
you
like a lot of people think that, but I mean when you watch volume three all together, you kind of don't know how serious it gets until like
until it gets there.
yeah, until Yang loses her arm, because then after that is when Peter dies.
Do you think we're gonna lose because it, like like you're saying, like it seems like it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
a different overall story. You think we'll keep Pyrrha around? Do you think they'll keep Pyrrha around this time?
I don't know. I think maybe if they're doing a whole reimagining of the series
Mhm.
and if they're trying to do fan service, they might.
Mhm.
Personally, I love Pyrrha. I would love to see her back, but I'm already like happy to see her in this element because it's
Mhm.
still like it's I guess they're saying that this is canon adjacent,
Mhm. Okay.
this series. So maybe in the next in volume 9 of RWBY, there'll be some of those um,
The nightmare.
nightmare grunts.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
So
was
that does fill all the answer all the questions from the trailer when you saw two Weisses and everyone was like
oh yeah, I was like, what's happening?
wait a minute, there are two Weisses.
Mhm.
So that answers that question that it's like the upside down.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we saw that it was Cinder that was flying the ship too. Did we see that in the original volume? Okay, I didn't
In the
remember.
original volume, when Glinda shows up to help Ruby on the
Mhm.
roof, what's the bad guy's name? Torchwick. He says there's a huntress, and Cinder stops flying the plane
Mhm.
and gets out and uses her semblance to fight
Mhm.
off so they can take off. But
Okay.
in this one, you just see her. see her flying the plane and they take off. Also with when they met Penny, I was like, that was fast.
Yeah.
and then they skipped that entire
They
fight
skip
sequence
that,
at the
yeah.
end when they fought the Faunus and they fought the White Fang, I mean. So yeah, so that's why I'm thinking that the first 3 episodes was like, here's volume 1 in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And then maybe the rest will just like branch off into having probably more time with this Shion character,
Right.
maybe having more time with Ty, maybe having more time with Blake.
Right.
Because I think a lot of people wanted like a whole backstory of Blake, like her leading up to like her and the White Fang with her family leaving her, being best friends with Ilya and Adam,
Okay.
having that whole love triangle with them, and then having all the stuff she went through with Adam to make her like, I gotta go.
I actually I looked down briefly, so I missed the conversation. What did he say on the train that made her be like, "Okay, I'm done with you"?
Um, he said they were gonna take over the train, and she said, "There's humans there. You'd have to. If you're gonna take over the train, you're gonna have to
Yeah.
kill them." And he was like, "It doesn't matter because they're not Faunus."
Okay. So
Mhm.
basically,
He
during their
was
time
just,
together, he had just become an extremist.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All
And then
right.
even when you watch Volume 5, when he murders Sienna, that conversation,
Mm-hmm.
because remember she said like, "You've done things for us."
Mm.
Like, remember they were a peaceful
Sienna
group, and
was
then
like the other leader, right?
mhm.
Yeah, I remember her.
But like,
Also another cosplay idea.
yeah, I was just thinking like, we want to be Crow and Raven. Why don't we just be Yang and Ruby?
I just really think I would be a good crow. But yeah, when I was watching it, I was like, I feel like we already are Yang and Ruby. It was really hitting me when he was saying like you guys depend on each other so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about, our relationship and have we ever allowed each other to go off and like be independence, which I think we have. We've done that. But we
I
still
mean, the
always
entire year 2010 when you lost your mind. Also in 2011 when I lost my mind.
so like I'm saying like we've allowed each other to do that, and I think the hardest things during those times for us was us not being there for one another.
That's true. I always
And
think
I
we get
think
into the
that was
most trouble with other people when we're not together.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Only thing that I did like is that we didn't get that stupid jock fight with that Cardinal Winchester guy. Remember season 1, the guy who was like, "I know you cheated your way into Beacon. I'm gonna make
You mean
you."
between him and Juan? John?
Yeah, Cardinal and Jean.
Didn't we watched the end of it, right? Or was that a different person?
No, no, yeah, the fight. But then when Cardinal finds out that John lied his
Oh.
way into Beacon, remember he was like,
Oh.
"Oh, I know a secret about you, so I'm gonna make you like do all of our dirty work and like
Yeah.
wash our towels and all that stuff," because he was a jerk.
Yeah.
I'm glad we like skipped over that aspect of it. The one thing I did kind of like was like the scene when they were in the slumber party, the sleepover in the original. I
Mhm.
like that scene because it was really sweet. It was like Ruby and Yang talking,
Mhm.
and I'm interested to see how they tackle Volume 3 if they're doing this new aspect. Because Volume 2, you're just like, okay, this show is really cute and really fun, and then
Because
um,
3 is when they actually start doing the tournament, right?
mhm. And
Okay.
then like 2 was they're setting up for the tournament, and
Mhm.
they have the dance, and that's when Blake starts losing her mind, trying to figure out what's really going on, and they told her to relax.
Mhm.
And then remember they go fight that paladin. Remember that paladin that was stolen from Roman Turtwig? Remember when they meet Neptune, when they meet Sun? So that's volume 2. So I'm wondering, I feel like that stuff will kind of be okay to tackle. It wasn't really that like, but the one thing that does happen at the end of volume 2 was when they are on their assignment with that professor with the oblek with the green hair, remember?
Oh,
And they go
yeah,
and they have to go camp out and all that
I
stuff.
liked
So I'm
him.
interested to see when we do that. And I think I saw pictures of Emerald, if they're bringing Emerald back, if they're doing like the whole thing, but just like a different aspect. So, ooh, and you know who comes in season 2? James Ironwood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just
What was I calling him?
interested to see.
Nolan?
Yes,
Calling him Nolan by season 8, volume 8.
yeah, I'm excited to see where the rest of the show goes, and if there, that whole nightmare grim is being added in and stuff like that. It would be great. It would be amazing. It would be great. It would be amazing if we got some freaking Stark story time.
Yeah.
And if we could see Raven, because
I wouldn't
Raven's awesome.
they yeah, I kind of would you want like a full season about
Yes.
Stark, or would you want like
Yes.
half the season about Stark and then the other half catching up with once they all fell through their portals?
Oh, for volume 9.
Hmm.
No, I want like a mini a RWBY tie-in series, Team
Okay.
Stark. I
Okay.
want I want 4 episodes of, well, 3 episodes. I'm sure Raven and Crow would have the same 8 episode because they were both in the bandits. They were both bandits. And then we'd have Weiss, Jesus. Then we have Summer, because there's like no history of Summer. Like no one really knows anything about her. And Ty, no one really knows anything about him either, just that they all met at Beacon and he fell in love with 2 women and, whatever. So I would want like 3 episodes, backstory, everything. And then them all
I'm still
Beacon.
confused. I'm sorry. I'm still
Then
confused
Osmond,
why. Go ahead.
then Osmond kind of saying to them, I notice you guys are this way. Do you want to be a part of basically doing what he did to Ruby,
Hmm.
telling them, hey, there's some real ish, and I think you guys should help me because of their power together.
The more I learn about Ozpin, the less and less I'm trusting him. So what is your
Yes.
stance on him right now? I mean,
I
I know
like,
that's not what has nothing to do with what we saw for Ice Queendom, but also I thought Ice Queendom was going to be all about Weiss.
I mean, at the last few minutes, you kind of see that she's about to go under.
Hmm.
So maybe the rest of it is about kind of, maybe
Like
there's
a
a whole
nightmare
episode of
sequence
her
of,
being, in
yeah.
nightmare sequence. Now with Ozpin, I still like Ozpin and I know he's untrustworthy, but the more you know why he's untrustworthy, the more you get it. But it's still like it's a double-edged sword. Like you tell people, something important, you tell them not to tell anybody. That's stress.
Yeah.
You tell them, just even look what happened to Pyrrha as soon as he told her about the maidens. And remember, she freaked out. And, that was ultimately her choice, which Austin always said, it's your choice.
Hmm.
I'm telling you all of this because I want your help, but it's your choice. So he leaves out,
But I think to some
but
degree he knows.
he's leaving out a lot. But I know that he thinks leaving out a lot is the best way to not give everybody all the information. And sometimes that's true and sometimes that's not.
But do you think he's at fault because he's always choosing, it seems to be the most, I guess, fearless or.
The one thing I do think that happens with transparency is that when people have information that they didn't before, that changes their future actions.
Hmm.
So I think maybe he's just trying to let stuff play out as naturally as possible,
Hmm.
because if he told everybody everything, then nobody would probably want to join him or help him. Also, what was I just about to say? I don't remember what I was just about to say, but go ahead.
I mean, that was it. I can't find the word I'm looking for in my mind, but just I feel like he's probably presenting his case to the most like seemingly fearless,
Mhm.
dare I say slightly cocky. I mean, I don't think Team RWBY is cocky, and I didn't think Pyrrha was cocky, but just some
No, Pierre is not at
people
all.
who are people who are confident in their skill set. They're like, "Oh yeah, I can do this." Like they're they understand that there are limitations to what they can or cannot do, but they seem to always persevere. So,
I think the one thing about him choosing Pyrrha to be the fall maiden is
mhm,
that she was top of her class, but she still was very kind.
mhm,
And I think that's probably one of the reasons he picked her first.
mhm,
Um, so she was already a skilled combatant, and she cared for other people. She
mhm.
was careful with John. She was careful with Team Ruby and her own team. Um, I also had something else to say. The one thing that would be difficult, back to the Ozpin question, is that I think Ozpin should have told Ruby he knew her mom. Because
Yeah.
as of now, we know that he knew her mom, but he's never talked to her. Not
She'd probably be
unless.
more willing to trust him too
Mhm,
if she knew that going in.
mhm.
But how could she not know that? Because Yang was, as we saw at this, Yang saw when Ozpin greeted her father.
No, I know that, but I don't think Ruby knows that Osmond recruited Summer for the Salem
Oh,
takedown.
that he specifically recruited her. Okay.
Yeah, he.
Not
I
so
don't
far
think
as being a
Ruby knows
teacher, but
that.
as okay.
Yeah, that he recruited probably Team Star to take down Raven. That's what I'm
Okay.
assuming. I'm assuming that Osmond recruited Team Star to take down Raven. He gave them, he gifted them magic to turn them into
You mean
birds.
Salem?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes,
I
to
was like
save
Stark
to
R Raven.
to fight to I know Stark, Raven, Crow to fight Salem, but um, I wonder if there has to be some story, and he has to know if what happened to Summer,
Okay.
and if that the truth is that Summer turned into a Grim, then that's what Ruby thinks, and that's kind of what we saw, but there's no definitive proof besides Salem saying, "Oh, your mother said those same words to me."
Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm interested. I'm gonna continue to watch.
Mhm.
Like I said, I hope if it is a retread of the past 8 volumes,
Mhm.
I just hope it steps off releases the foot off the accelerator a bit. Like let whatever is happening breathe a little bit before going right into the next thing. And like especially that moment when Penny starts fighting, but like they just
Mhm.
show the end of it, and I'm like, I know there was like a good like 5 minutes there of like some stuff happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, it's still the first episode. I think it
Mhm.
was just an introduction
Well,
to
those are the first 3 episodes.
yeah. So everything we saw in the first hour was the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, it shows you. It says episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. Whenever there's pauses,
Oh,
and it was in Japanese, but it said episode 1, 2, and 3.
but not volume, right?
Mm-mm.
No. But then what? Oh, it was the first 3 episodes of Ice Queendom, period.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. How many episodes are there total?
I
Okay.
I'd have to ask around. I really don't. Hopefully 12. I mean, Ruby kind of runs off 12, 13 episodes a season. Thank you for watching our Ruby Queendom breakdown. Not really breakdown, just
Yeah.
talk about Ruby Queendom.
Just
Ruby Ice
talking.
Queendom. I'm sorry, Ruby Ice Queendom. Or is it just Ice Queendom? I'm not sure. It's a
Ice
Ruby
Queendom.
project, but it's
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching. And
Yeah.
all right. All right. See ya.
Bye.